Greetings, everyone. Brian Terrian here from the Disability Digests. Sorry for the slight delay. We had some technical difficulties. Happy New Year. Good to be here. Jam, welcome. We'd love to see you. There you are. So
Hi
for to
everyone.
yeah. You're
Happy New
back.
Year.
You're back. Jim has been on a worldwide tour. Well, you still are actually, right?
Yes,
Yep,
I
working
am.
and traveling, living the life. Um,
Yes.
So great to be back. I trust everybody had a wonderful, safe holiday season, and we look forward to spending some time with you today to help you get set up and maximize your disability benefits in 2024. So we're going to go over a few items that would be helpful for you, but we're going to spend most of the time today taking questions and calls from you that you can actually call in and speak to us and get your questions answered, or maybe share a success story. So that's what we have on tap for today. Um, all right. You ready to get going, Jim?
Yes.
Good, good. Um, The first message that I want to deliver to everybody is in the general scope of disability benefits with Social Security, in my candid opinion, I don't see any change in their customer service, decrease in wait times for disability decisions, or any of that going on. I see the same level or perhaps increased level of continuing disability reviews. So those are things that we cannot control. But what I know that we can control here is some of the tools to help you navigate through the process. And here at the Disability Digest, we work every day, well, not every day, but most days, to help you get, keep, and maximize your disability benefits. So there's some key tools that I just want to make sure that, if you're interested in getting all that you're entitled to, that you stay tuned in with. Um, just one thing in advance that I want to share is in the news this morning was information about inflation. And the inflation was projected to be like 3.7% this year, which maybe you're wondering, oh, why is that important? And that's important because disability recipients received a 3.2% cost of living increase. So if inflation is higher than your check increase, that's kind of a bummer. So that actually is encouraging news, and this was Forbes. Wall Street Journal reported it as well. Um, One of the key things I want to make sure that you are in tune with, of course, is what we do here on at the Disability Digest, and specifically with our YouTube channel, and how you can use YouTube as a reliable source to help you in 2024. We're here most Wednesdays doing this. And our format has recently changed, so that we're going to spend more time answering your questions either live or you can submit them during the program. So make sure you check that out. On our YouTube channel, we publish, news, informational pieces, lots of success stories, and there's over 1,000 videos on the YouTube channel, which may seem kind of daunting, but if you want to go through them all, wonderful. We thank you for doing it. And the best way that we can help you if you want a streamlined approach is you can join us as a member at the Disability Digest by filling out a profile. There's no charge for your membership. And that allows us to understand where you're at in the application process, or if you're approved, and other demographic information, condition information, so that we can get you like a streamlined approach and the right support team in place. So that's it. But if you are
Right.
new here, or maybe you haven't used this channel effectively, when you search for the Disability Digest on YouTube, you're going to see this present itself like it is right here. And there's a few points that I want to share with you that would be helpful. There is this live feature that shows the live replays that we have. and listening to you come in and look at the topics, but some of the most popular ones to help you find resources were run about 6 months ago. And that's these red ones down here that have AI on them. And that's understanding how to use like Chat GPT and other AI tools to find things, to secure housing, to look for jobs, to look for side hustles. Um, and it's just very effective. So those are great resources for you. Jim, did you have a question for me?
Oh, yeah. On that note, one of the common questions that I get asked from members actually is may ask me how are we doing these events and offering the free membership, us offering free courses and advocacy.
Oh, so how do we do this and like make money and give away money and
Yes.
all that stuff? So,
Yeah.
and by the way, we're
Hmm.
going to give away some money at the end. So make sure you hang out. Well, not directly money. It'll be a gift card. We're going to play Wheel of Fortune. Uh, so yeah, back on track here. The Disability Digest has a membership. Our strategy is we give away all of our information. So if you join us, you complete your profile. Like for example, for somebody that's trying to get their disability benefits approved, we give them a comprehensive disability approval course, takes you step by step through the process. It's put together with industry experts. Many have been on this channel, like this live event right down here with James Brown, who's actually going to be back here in 2 weeks, Attorney James Mitchell Brown.
That's
So
awesome.
you can do it on your own with a course, and some people can't, don't want to, or try and fail. And then we, if it's a fit, we'll represent their case. So we do represent about 15 new disability applicants a month, not a lot, but the revenue that we earn from that helps us. We also manage people's health insurance, their Medicare insurance, and that is another way in which we make money. But relative to YouTube, with this channel specifically, is we're in the partnership program with YouTube, which means that there's ads on some of the videos, or if you have the ad-free version, then they pay us a percentage of that revenue. So what we do for this particular event is like anywhere from 1,000 to 3 or 4,000 people watch these events, then we share some of that revenue by creating, prizes and Wheel of Fortune and stuff like that. So that's how we make it work. So the membership is free, the courses are free, the services that we provide are what allow us to do what we do. Good question. Um, Yeah, so last week, or not last week, but the last event we had, if you weren't here, there was a great success story submitted by Lisa. And these live events are, you can look at them by the latest, or you can you click the popular tab. Um, but that was a very, very nice that Lisa came in and called in and shared that. Um, One other thing I want to share with you before we start taking questions, and you can enter your question in the live chat, and or you can call in a few minutes. I'll put the number up on the screen. Um, I really think this is like the year of the side hustle. If somebody has any aspirations to supplement your income, ideally online, which has the highest success rate for most people if your skill set will allow you to do that. There's so many opportunities, and I see our members succeeding in this. So if you want to call in, are you thinking about doing a side hustle? You have a question in that, love to talk about that. Or maybe you don't yet, but you could work on the skill development side. I mean, there's resources at like your local vocational rehabilitation that may bring you up to speed so that you can learn to do something. And these are all things that we've worked on in the past and we'll spend more time. So again, love to hear from anybody out there that has an interest in a side hustle. Last thing I want to bring up is this. New Year's, New Year's, New Year's. Some people make resolutions. I don't. I just kind of go throughout the year. I don't know about you, Jam. Do you make resolutions? Guess not. You're frozen. I think your internet's frozen. But if you are one that is making a resolution and you are a disability recipient and it's a fitness driven resolution, I just want to remind you that most here at the Disability Digest, it's a 90% plus, are on a Medicare Advantage plan. That this is the summary of benefits for one that's up on the screen. And these have fitness features built into it. And if you are not using it and are looking for a healthier 2024, then I check these out. Like this one is with United Healthcare, they call it Renew Active. It's a fitness program. If you're with Humana or another company, it's called Silver Sneakers. But it may not be that your condition or your desires are to like go to a gym and lift weights and do all that stuff, but you can take classes. You can do, like, I know people that have done, they do Pilates, some do water aerobics. They go there and they walk on a track. There's socialization, there's activities, or if you want to do it at home, they have apps. So check out your summary of benefits for your Medicare Advantage plan, and that may be something that you could benefit from. Jam, are you back? Because I think your screen froze.
Yes, I'm back.
All right. Did it freeze, or were you just messing with me?
No, it froze. Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
I think I did. Oh, yeah, I did. I asked you if you do New Year's resolutions.
Oh, before, but nowadays, more of manifestations.
Oh, that's good. You know, when you get things so good, right? I mean, how are you
Mhm.
going to improve? So why bother,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. I gotcha. All right. So, one other thing I just want to point out, some of you out there are going to be receiving a survey um, after this event. And the survey is just really a two-question survey that would really help us out. It will be sent via email. Um, and it's asking you what type of information would be helpful for you for us to cover, to research, present, or find guest speakers that can come in here. Like we've received a fair amount of travel questions, so we actually have a travel expert that's going to be coming to one of our upcoming lives and presenting. So that would be helpful if you fill that out. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to put up on the screen the number to call in on if you have a question or if you have a success story. And then at the same time, we will also take some questions from chat. I've got to find my program here. Oh, here we are. Um, So this is what we're going to do. The number is up on the screen and I don't have the line open yet. I'll open it in a moment and let you know. But for those of you that call in, we are going to take down just your first name, or you can give us a bogus name, keep it anonymous. You could be Santa if you want to. Um, and then your phone number, and then we're going to enter your phone number into our pinwheel like we did in the last event. We're going to spin it at the end, and the lucky winner of the Wheel of Fortune is going to get an Amazon gift card immediately after the show today. And no, Jam, you can't put your number in. Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up the phone line. The number is 844-202-5609, extension 15 with your question or success story. All right, here we go. Jim, do you have questions that are in the chat that we can address?
Oh, yeah. Here's one from Nancy. Can I apply for Social Security disability if I am 62? Very common question.
All right, we'll take that
Yes,
one.
you
I'm just going
can.
to answer this call. Thanks for calling. This is Brian. Who am I speaking with? All right, must be disconnect.
I don't hear it, Brian.
No, the caller was disconnected. You're welcome to call back in, and I need to adjust my. Yeah, the number to call again is 844-202-5609. We were disconnected on the last call. But back to Nancy for a minute. Yes, you can. And I'll get back to the answer in a moment while I take this call. This is Brian. Who's calling?
Hi, Brian. This is Nancy. I had a two-part question.
Ooh, maybe I was just answering your question.
Yes, yes, you were.
Great. So I hear me in the background. If you could turn your
Yes,
volume
understood.
down, that would solve that
Yes.
problem. And then you have a great
Mhm.
question. If it's the question about age 62 and applying for Social Security disability, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Um, do you know the difference between your two check amounts?
Mm, the difference in amount?
Yeah. So do you know what your disability check amount would be? And do you know what your age
Yes.
62? Okay. Do you mind sharing
Yes.
those with me?
One is 35, and that's disability, and the other one is like 28.
That sounds about right. Okay. So your age 62 amount is $2,800 a month. Your
Approximately, yes.
your Social Security disability amount is $3,500 a month. Sounds like
Yes.
you had a very good career. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, so you can apply uh, for you can start collecting your age 62 or 3 4 however old you are, but in your case you're 62, so you'd be collecting $2,800 a month and apply for disability. There is one consideration, Nancy, which is this: if you go through the application process and you're successful, great. Your check goes from 2,800 up to the Social Security disability amount of 3,500. But if you're not successful and you don't get approved for disability, then you're stuck with your $2,800 check amount. And so that would cost you about $10,000 a year for the rest of your life. So that's the
Yes.
consideration. So there's, of course, the variables and looking at your case and assessing it, your work history, your conditions, your treatment, and all the other things that need to be taken into consideration. Um, is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Now you said you had a two-part question. Did I cover the second
That was
part?
the second. So the second part is, I have a little bit of money in my 401k. Does that impact me applying for Social Security disability?
No, it doesn't. So it's another common question. With Social Security disability, it's a insurance program that you paid for that's been funded by your Social Security tax that you paid, and it doesn't have any assets that you have like that do not apply. Now, some people are led to believe and ask that question because there's another program called SSI, or welfare or social insurance. It goes by a variety of names. That is for those that don't or have not worked enough, but have the medical qualifications and are below the poverty level, then the assets are looked at. So no,
Hmm.
no. So
Okay.
you're fine. Yeah, good.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, one other thing I want to make sure we put your number in our. Um, is this 917 number? Is this a Cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. So before you hang up, I'm just going to put it in chat for Jam so that she adds you under the wheel. Um, okay. Okay, Jam, we all good?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Nancy, thanks for calling in.
Yes.
We're here to help if you need
All right.
us.
Thank.
All
Nancy.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that was the two birds with one stone. Answered the same question. Um, good question. All right, Jam, you have any others while we're waiting for a caller?
Yes.
And yep.
If approved, how long until you get the back pay?
Mm, another excellent question. So the it depends. There's a lot of variables. Like, was it an initial or reconsideration level case that was approved, or was it at hearing? Were there any other like um, offsets that need to be factored in, like workers' compensation or um, SSI welfare that was collected during that time of unemployment? Those things will slow it down. But as a general rule, the expectations that Social Security communicates is that you should receive your back pay within 60 days if there isn't any, um, you know, offsets or things that are going to delay it. Yeah, and actually, many that we have worked with have awoken and checked their bank balance and found their back benefits in there before they even knew they were approved. That's typically at the initial application level. Yeah.
All right.
Just a reminder,
Here's another.
if you'd like to call in, just one quick shout out here, 844-202-5609 extension 15. All right, Jim.
All right. Here's another one from Joe Mihai, CDR. How long will it take to be approved again?
What's your understanding of that? Is like the CDR was denied at the CDR?
I think they're being reviewed. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not clear to me. I can take a shot at it. Um, if if you've been reviewed, and I'm trying to just gather my words here so I don't spray my answer all over the place. Um, Let me just accept this and then I'll finish that. Hello, this is Brian.
Oh, hi. I'm watching YouTube. Are you on live answering questions?
I am. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, my name's Jackie.
All right, Jackie. Do you
And
mind
I
holding?
watch your.
Do you mind holding a
Sure,
moment?
sure,
Because
sure.
I just
No
want to
problem.
finish answering a question, Jackie, and then I would love to hear from you. So you just hang tight.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So for the continuing disability review, if you were reviewed and you were denied and you were taken off of benefits, there's a lot going on there. I don't know the answer to that. If you have somebody working on it, if you've reapplied, so that's difficult for me to answer based on the information that I have. If you were reviewed and you sent your information in and you haven't heard from them, and that's the premise of the question, then I wouldn't be concerned about that because it's often that they don't let you know. And the advice that we've received from our expert attorney, James Mitchell Brown, is just leave it and not call or follow up or stir the pot. Okay. All right, Jackie, you are on. Are you calling? Is your 914 number a cell phone?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna put you.
Yes,
We're
and I'm
gonna
not.
put you in the spinning wheel for a prize.
Okay, thank you.
What's
Thank you very much.
What's your question?
Okay, my question is not for myself. I'm retired, but on Social Security, but not disability. but for a family member who is on Social Security disability.
Sure.
Okay. And I help a lot with all the paperwork, and I'm active in the person's life. And my concern is that if it's a mental illness that you've become disabled for, is that, I worry that, hey, should you be working? When I speak to him, it's like pushing him to work, and he doesn't look like he's equipped to work. How does Social Security disability treat reviews for mental illness?
So,
Do they expect him to work?
just want to make sure Jackie, is the person that you're advocating for, are they a Social Security disability recipient, like they're receiving a monthly check?
Right.
Okay.
For years. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So working, I think my take is there's two parts. There's kind of the working part, and then the also how does Social Security consider the review process for mental illness?
Right.
Yeah. It would be similar to the approval process in that they're looking for key criteria that the individual is being treated for the conditions that they are on their benefits for. So if it's PTSD or bipolar or anxiety or depression, that they're seeing a therapist. If there's medication that's required, that they're either taking it or they've explained why they are not. So that's one key. Then in addition to that, that there's still limitations present despite the treatment that prevent this individual from working. How old is this person?
42.
Okay, 42.
And been on disability maybe 11 years.
Okay.
And it's a major mental illness that requires, oh my gosh, doctors, a list of doctors, a list of medicines, injections, blood work. In the course of a month, maybe 6 different appointments. There's Zoom appointments for the people that don't want to meet in person. A lot of things that you have to do in the course of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's major.
Okay.
There's been hospitalizations a couple of months ago.
Yeah. One of the things that we teach and speak about here, Jackie, that maybe you've heard it, but I'll just share it with you to make sure, is good Social Security disability insurance practice is to make sure in these appointments that either the individual or you or somebody else that's advocating for them is communicating the limitations in writing. Like this is actually a pretty good example right here. This book and simple line paper is have an up-to-date list, like what the limitations are. And it could be cannot remember repetitive tasks, gets agitated when, gets directions, can't stay focused. Maybe there's different environmental things that trigger. And you might feel like you're a broken record, but when you go into a treatment environment, their objective should be to get this person better and to continue to communicate the limitations and ask that these limitations be updated and put into the medical record for that visit does a few things. It holds the doctor accountable. This is what we're doing. And maybe there'll be some steps where this individual will get some improvement, which would be great. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be a disability recipient.
Right.
But the real benefit is this, is when Social Security does the review, Jackie, and they come back through and they're going to ask for the treating sources, and they're going to look at the medical records. They'll see visit, limitations, another visit. Oh, Here's the limitations. So for anybody out there, whether you're trying to get approved or you're still working, or how you manage your doctor, your treatment, that's what has worked for us. That's what I strongly advocate that people do.
Okay, and that's exactly what I thought as I've listened to you very often. I've, watched your YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and you do go over all of this. You don't really talk about physical versus mental, but you sort of say, hey, convey.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're keeping all your appointments, you're going in, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the tendency sometimes is for a person to go, hey, everything's great. But
Mm-hmm.
really it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I think we're in the right spot on that.
Good.
But okay, that sounds good.
I have one quick departing.
I appreciate all you do.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I have one quick departing question for you.
Okay.
Are you calling from New York?
Yes.
Okay.
An awful state.
No. I know that you have this very you have a New York accent. So I'm just, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
But thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No.
I guess thank you. I'm not sure, but yeah. I'm not sure. But anyway, well, thank you so much
Yes.
for all you do and for helping people and being available. I can't even believe that I called in. I actually just hit your YouTube and it looked like you were live, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
You give great advice, and you're so dedicated, so nice in this day and age to have somebody that people can rely on and get support from.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It means a lot. That's what we're here for. So I thank you for your contribution and calling in. I hope somebody learned something from our little snippet of a conversation here. All right.
I'm sure. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Have a good day.
Happy New Year.
Okay. All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. How we doing,
Oh, that's
Jen?
cool, Brian.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
it's amazing how you can distinguish accents from people from different states.
Yes, and I know where you're from, so the game's over. And
All
I
right.
know where you're going too, which is even better. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a follow-up from Joe Mihai regarding the CDR question, Brian.
Yeah.
He said, I haven't had a CDR yet. My main concern is that the review process will take as long as being or getting approved.
I wouldn't be concerned about that because one of the things that I would suggest for this particular question and for others is on the YouTube channel. There is 4 segments that we did with attorney James Mitchell Brown about how to prepare and get through your CDR. So if you haven't gone through that and looked at those, that would be one thing. If you are a member or care to join us as a member, there's 10 segments of that whole course. 4 are on YouTube, but the whole course in its entirety is available to members. Once you join as a member, just contact support and they'll start it. I would definitely do that. The best advice that I have for people is your concerns are definitely valid. Don't get me wrong. Is that to just focus on controlling what you can control, which is reflecting back on the conversation that we just had, preparation in your appointments, going through the course that we have, so you understand how to prepare, how to fill out the forms. The forms for a continuing disability review come in 2 formats. There's a short one and there's a long one. It's nowhere near as complex as applying for disability. And you can, learn and see that and understand how to fill that out from the work that we did with attorney James Mitchell Brown. Just a shout out for anybody else who has a question and would like to call in. Line is open at 442025609, extension 15. We have anything else going on, Jim?
Yes. Here's a question from Lulu. How do I calculate how much my check will be once it turns from disability to regular Social Security due to age?
Right. So it won't change. The only thing that changes
Mhm.
your check is the cost of living increase. So when you reach your full retirement age, which 66 or 67 depends when you're born, um, the identification on your check will change from disability recipient to full retirement age. That's the only difference. Let's have a call coming in here, Jim.
Mhm.
This is Brian. Thanks for calling. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
I'm I'll be 64 years old January the 8th.
All right. Can we sing happy birthday to you?
Uh well, okay.
Happy birthday to Kathy. Come on, everybody. Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday,
you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy.
Kathy. Happy
God, I hope I
birthday.
don't make you hang up.
No, it was wonderful. Thank you
Yes.
so very much. Um I was approved my disability October 9th, 2019, I'm sorry. And then I got my Medicare in 2021.
Okay.
My question is, when I was approved on my Social Security disability, they told me that they was going to reevaluate me and get a CDR within 5 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
This year in 2004 will be the 5th year.
Yep.
My question is, will I get a continuous disability review? I would like to keep my disability because I'm in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to Daphne, I think about 2 weeks ago, and she said that I don't want my disability taken away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So because of my age, do you think that my disability will be taken away from me? Now, I will tell you this. I have seen all my doctors. I'm in treatment. I paid into the system. I am a retired respiratory therapist for 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just worried about will they take my disability away from me?
Right.
I'm kind of paranoid, but I have
Mm-hmm.
legal, like I said. I've been going to my doctors and everything and in treatment.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I should do?
Well, I just want to, can you confirm your age for me? I got so excited that I got the opportunity to sing to you. I forgot about that piece.
Oh, I'll be 64 January 8th.
Okay. And you haven't had any reviews yet because it's the 5 years isn't up yet, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay. So there's no possible way for me to say yes or no. They're gonna do that. But I can just share with you like my perspective on what we see here. There's 192,000 people here, and so we are contacted by people screaming that they've lost their benefits. So, um, and as a general rule, the the older you are and closer to full retirement age, like you're at age 64, so you're getting close, there's the decreased probability of a review. And if they have a review, it may just be a short form, quick review. You've been going to your doctors. Um, and there's a few other things that you shared with me that gives me optimism that, you should be okay, which is you said 33 years
Yeah,
in one.
respiratory.
Okay. So for Social Security to take your benefits away, they would need to be able to prove that you would not be able to return to your job. Unlike Jackie who called in with the 42-year-old. So
Yeah.
at 42, because you're under 50, the they need to prove that they can't do any type of work, not a greeter at Walmart or an assembly line worker. So that's another thing that is going. So you have your age and your doctors and your
Treatments.
treatment and your work history are the three things that I see that are really helpful for you. Yeah. So this is my best advice, is to just take a deep breath. Certainly understand the process, prepare for it. But if you just do the steps like we have discussed, like going to your doctors and documenting your limitations, just do those, which are not super taxing. Then you've done what you can to hopefully have peace of mind that you'll, if and when you get one, you just breeze right through it.
Okay, one more last question regarding this. Do I go to a specialist doctor to list all my medical conditions and then another line of limitations to my primary care doctor or to my specialist
All right.
to get my
I want to make sure I understand the question, Kathy. Is the question listing your limitations? Do you do that with your primary care or your specialist or both?
both?
Okay. So is that the question though? Because if the question is, who do you communicate your limitations to in your visits? It's all of your doctors.
It's all of my doctors.
All of your
Okay.
doctors. Yeah,
What
because,
if they don't?
pardon me?
What if the doctors don't want to participate in that? They'll go to another specialist.
Yeah, I haven't seen that happen. I mean, most of them are like, "Oh, all right, yeah, I'll do that." All they're doing is they just can take your piece of paper. Like, I don't know if you're still watching, but they can just scan this in, um, and or they write it down. I mean, that is their job. They're treating you to get better. So it would be if you do have that, if somebody says that, I call us back and share that story with us. But that hasn't been the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for the information. Everybody is doing a great job on Social Security Disability Digest.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year
And
to
thank
you.
you for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. All right. Be well. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. So did I answer the prior question adequately? I have another call coming in. If not, I can, but this is Brian. Thanks for calling. And Jam, actually.
Hi. Hello, hi. This is Jose
Hey,
from
Jose.
Florida.
Oh, hi,
So,
Jose.
Jam says
uh,
hi.
Yeah, we are
hey,
scheduled
Jam,
for an
yes, I
appointment
would love
later
to.
today, Brian.
Yes,
Oh, really?
hey, she's very sweet. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
We
you,
are
sir.
we are blessed to have her here. Uh,
Yes, I
Jose,
bet.
before we get into your question, is this a cell phone
Mhm.
that you're calling from?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put you in the wheel of fortune, my friend. How can I help you? What's your question?
Yes. Question uh, um, can you get SSI and SSDI at the same time? And is there any benefit to that, or is that possible?
Oh yeah, it's
Curious.
possible. That's a yes and yes, actually. So are you speaking of like from where you're at in your real life situation? Uh, I'm if you're going to be speaking with Jam, I presume that you haven't applied or you're not approved, that type of thing.
Yeah, we're gonna
Haven't
be
applied.
working on that a little later
Okay.
this afternoon. Yes.
Yeah, so you can. It's this. There's like on the application, there is like just two different boxes to check, but it's best to, and Jam can ask you the questions to see if it makes sense.
Okay.
Because here's the situation, Jose. If We detect that financially you're not going to qualify, and we ask Social Security to go through that application process as well. It's going to slow down your decision because they're evaluating both. And the evaluation for SSI is intense. I mean, they go through all of your assets, where you're living, all of that. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
I see.
but
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
listen, let's say it does work. Then you could get some medical assistance, possibly some money, depending on the state that you're in,
Yeah.
to help you through the process. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That all right. I guess yeah. When I'll talk to her, we'll see about that. About
Okay.
that. I see. I was just trying to find out if there's any advantage to it or
Right.
not.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian, for answering my question. All right.
Thank you for
Have a
calling
nice
in.
day.
All right. Be well.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Well.
Okay. All right, Jim. Want to get caught up on any questions you might have?
Oh yeah. Um, from Mike, I am 59 and I'm on disability. If I play games or watch YouTube on my phone, can they cancel my disability?
If you play games, I'm just gonna take this call and then I'll come back.
Okay.
Oh, apparently hung up. So based on what you're telling me, Mike, is no, you're not working, you're playing games. But if you're doing, here's the thing that everybody needs to be conscious of. If you're doing work-like activity, like if you're a full-time gamer, um, and you're doing that 40 something hours a week, and that is work-like activity, and Social Security views it that way, then it could cause a problem. If you're a hobbyist and you're doing things like that, no, no. Okay. Um,
Okay.
we received a call that I believe was dropped from a Juliana. I didn't, if I hung up on you, then my bad. Call back in.
Okay. Do you mind answering another question from live comments?
Yeah, just one moment. I'll put this caller on hold.
Okay.
This is Brian. Who's calling? Fine. If
Hello.
here's the situation, Jose. Hello. We detect.
Yes, my name is Yvonne.
Yvonne, do you mind turning the volume down so I don't listen to myself in the background?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you just to hold one moment. I'm going to answer this question from Jam. Uh, I think we lost Yvonne. She hung up or call was disconnected. Okay. Juliana,
Yes.
this is Brian.
Hello.
Thanks.
Hi, Brian.
Thanks for calling in. Jam, I'll get right back to you after this call. How can I help you,
Okay.
Juliana?
I kind of wanted to comment on the woman who was trying to get forms filled out by her doctor. So I'm 42. I became disabled at 38 for mental and physical stuff, and I have like an open workers' comp case. I was approved, but through the approval process, I have had doctors more in the mental health than the physical side that will not fill out forms. And the only way to get them to fill, like I've had them where they've had it in their terms and conditions, they like will not deal without like a subpoena. And then I've had to switch doctors because of that. And then additionally, I've had doctors who I always have to take the form and sit with them and make sure they look at it because they won't necessarily fill it out, or they are scared to fill it out until you like make them read it with
Mm-hmm.
you. So that's just
Helpful.
if anyone has any forms, just do it with your doctor because it's I've had a lot of challenges with that myself.
Good to know. May I ask a few questions?
Oh, sure.
What state are you in?
I'm in California.
Was it Kaiser?
No, no.
Okay.
I was no, it's no.
Okay.
No,
because
18 months, all
Kaiser
PTO type
is
stuff.
that was Kaiser's like the most difficult of the ones that I've been exposed to. But thanks for sharing that with me. Now that my next question is this, uh, Juliana, is what forms were they? Were they the doctor support forms, like the residual functional capacity report forms?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Um, and so you switched doctors, and how did you like ask in advance to becoming a patient if they would help you with those?
Um, no, I actually wasn't mentally, I didn't, I wasn't mentally able to think very well back then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on like ketamine treatment, so I'm doing a little bit better now with
Got
that
it.
kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was just kind of like I got lucky, and I basically was seeing a doctor who was just like, well, I can't help you any more than I've helped you. I'm going to send you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I just kind of got lucky, and then the new doctor didn't have restrictions to sign up. So just I guess when you go see a doctor, if they have any clauses that say like, will not fill out support forms or anything like that, just
That's a
the
really
better you
good
can
tip. So
just
because I don't go through the actual process like this, so is there like a doctor disclaimer when you start with them that uh that outlines this?
they're all different. I've been to like 20 or 40 doctors or something in the last 5 years, and they're all very different.
Mm-hmm.
This particular mental health psychiatry group, yeah, they have forms you fill out when you first start with them, and it's a lot of reading. It's really easy to miss,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's really really easy to miss. But it's something that you can ask them up front,
Mm.
um, and it might be easier to ask them that because that particular office, it was just their standard rule. If it wasn't a subpoena by like a
Yeah.
court, like a court ordered thing, they wouldn't. If it was for a lawyer, if it was for Social Security, if it was for workers' comp, they didn't care.
Yeah. And who
They just
reads the
wouldn't do it.
fine print anyway? I mean, I know we should, but um, anyway, that's good. Hey, listen, I've learned something today. That's helpful information. I thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything
no
else?
problem. Nope, my story is probably too long to share as a positive.
All right. Well, listen, thanks for calling in. Call back sometime.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
You be
Thank
well.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, before I take any other calls, Jim, let's finish up a few questions. I'll open the lines back up again once we address some of these questions without interruptions.
Yeah, sure. All right, here's one from JD Vision. Any different rules for legally blind getting back to work without losing SSDA benefits? I know 2024 SGA is $2,590, but should we still stay under 1,150 as to not trigger a ticket to work program?
Yeah, that's my advice because I frankly, in the 17 years that I've been doing this, I haven't really been able to get any comfortable clarity on that. So if you want to take the high road, I would stay below the non-blind SGA.
Here's a follow-up. Will I lose SSDI benefits if I join the business enterprise program?
I don't know what the business enterprise program is, but if you follow the SGA guidelines of keeping your activity below 20 hours a week and the income limits, then you'll be fine. I mean, this here at the Disability Digest, we have part of our team here is disability recipients, and it's been that way since 2007 when Dennis Barry started as the first advocate. And so I bring that up because we we've seen, earnings over the years. We haven't had anybody that's lost their benefits. Now, people get reviews; it's a standard part of the process, but their earnings have been solid, and but they just stay within the guidelines. That's the message that I encourage for people. Good question. Business
All right.
Enterprise Program. Curious what that is, if you have more info.
Okay.
All right, Jim, we have another question.
Yes, we do, but my screen is white out. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to
Okay,
open up oh, go ahead.
okay. I'm sorry, just open up the line for now.
Yeah, I'm going to open up the phone line. We'll take one, maybe two more calls with the time that we have. Just one moment, and I'll have it ready. And that phone number is 844-202-5609, extension 15. Call on in. You still froze, Jim?
No, no
Okay.
longer.
Just a reminder, all the callers, we're going to do the Wheel of Fortune here in a moment before we wrap up.
Yes. Do you mind answering one question?
No.
All right. Here's one. The form that the caller referred to, is it in actual form we should bring into regular appointments?
I'm
That's
not
from
sure
Helen.
which caller, but I'm gonna take a shot at saying that it was the residual functional capacity report. Would you agree with that,
Yeah.
Jim?
Yes, I do.
Okay. If you're going through the disability approval process, then it would be, I don't put it this way, it would be applicable to do it then. But if you're working with another disability representative, then I don't want to, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. It does help people get approved. If you're working here using our course or partnering with us to help you get approved, that's one of the cornerstones of getting you approved is your doctor's support form getting filled out. So that'd be a definite yes for that. If you're already approved, then I don't see that as being effective based on the question. It's not something that would be necessary. Okay.
All right. From Mystique, Lavier Ryan, what happens if a person applies for a full retirement at um 863 and they just happen to get some type of part-time employment? Is it that allowed? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that allowed? They will be paying to the Social Security system.
Is this individual a disability recipient?
Mm, it's not indicated.
I'm gonna answer the question this way. I'm gonna presume that this is a 63-year-old that is a Social Security disability recipient is going to do some work and would like to know if the work and the income will have a positive impact on the check amount. I'm going to address it from that perspective. And the answer is no. And the reason why is there's Social Security has something called the disability freeze. And if we have the regulation here, but for me to talk and try to find something, I'm good at one thing at a time. So I'm just going to explain it. And when you apply for disability, when you're going online, you start your application. From that moment, Social Security freezes your earnings record. So whatever your Social Security disability check amount is, like, let's say we had a call from Nancy a while back. Hers is 3,500. So if Nancy applied today, it's going to be locked in at 3,500. Any additional income or all the time that it takes her to get approved is not factored in. So work would not be beneficial. Just an additional thing on this to consider is for those of you that may be out there sitting around, you've been out of work for 8 months, 10 months, or a year or more, you should really take this into consideration, because if you have a full year of no income, and you haven't applied, then you're averaging a zero of earnings into your Social Security amount, and it'll bring it down. Or low earnings. It could be that you had a high paying job and you've just gone to something, that's paying you less. Like we had an individual in Maine recently who was making $700 a month for about 18 months. So, but he left a high paying job that hadn't applied. So all of those months is 700, he still could have applied. So make sure you're aware of that. That'll really help you out. Long-winded answer, but hopefully it was helpful. Okay, Jam, one more, and then we're going to spin the wheel and wrap up. All right.
Okay. Here's one from Jim Shore. My SSDI payments gets reduced by approximately $164 each month due to
Mhm.
a Medicare payment. I have a third-party credible coverage medication plan. Is there any way to eliminate that deduction from SSDI payments?
So it has credible coverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have two options. It's the amount this year for Medicare Part B premium is $174.70. So it's more than you thought. And there's only one price. Well, no, actually, if you're a high income earner, it could be more than that. So if you have credible coverage, you can decline Part B. You can contact Social Security and say, listen, I have credible coverage. They're going to ask you what it is, and you have to validate it. If you're on, what's on his spouse's insurance? Is that what it was, Jim? Something like that?
Yeah.
So they'll ask for that, and then you can then you can just put that on a pause, and then if and when you go off of your spouse's insurance, you can activate it again. That is one way to do it. The second way that you could look at this is in many of the densely populated areas in the US now, they have these Medicare Advantage plans that have a Part B buyback. Florida, Texas, Georgia, seen them in the Carolinas, California. And this would reduce or eliminate your Part B premium, depending on the program. And so what this would allow you to do is still have the credible coverage, still keep your Medicare coverage, and in a Medicare Part C, Medicare Advantage program, and get the additional benefits that are in said program. I don't know what they would be because I don't know where you live, all that stuff. So that is another way that people approach this. A lot of veterans that have like TRICARE, but in order to have TRICARE, you need to have your Medicare, full Medicare. So they don't need the healthcare coverage. They still have the 174.70, and so they look at a Medicare Part C plan that won't conflict with their TRICARE and has this buyback. So those are the two ways that you can do it. All right. Is there a lot of questions left, Jan? You want to do one more before we spin the wheel, or what?
Oh, we're good.
We're good. Okay. So do you need a moment to get the wheel ready, or you want to share your screen and let it rip?
Yes, I would need a moment.
Okay, we'll give you a moment. All right. Well, while Jam is getting the wheel ready to determine our winner today, I just want to remind you that we're here most Wednesdays. As of right now, I have a conflict with next Wednesday, so there will not be a live next Wednesday. In 2 weeks, we have attorney James Mitchell Brown coming here. And if you haven't been to any of the prior shows that he's attended. He has been representing Social Security disability applicants to help them get their benefits, keep them for, I think, 43 years, long, long time. He has a wealth of knowledge. And we're just pretty much going to be doing an open mic Q&A where you can call in and talk to Jim, ask him a question, totally no charge. This is something that he doesn't like. He doesn't accept phone calls, really. So this is a wonderful opportunity for people to get just top quality advice from somebody that's really iconic in this industry. So that'll be in 2 weeks. So make sure you mark your calendar, and then we'll have more events to follow. Okay.
I am marking mine.
Okay. All right, Jim.
All right, I'm
We
ready to
ready to
share my
roll?
screen now. Yeah.
Okay. So here's how it works. Jam's going to spin the wheel once, and
Only.
whoever is a lucky recipient, I'm going to send a $50 Amazon gift card to right after the show. So let's see. We've got
Wow.
Jackie, Kathy, Jose, Juliana, and Nancy. Let's do it, Jim.
Okay.
It's awful slow moving. Are you messing? Are you trying? Are you rigging this? Somebody paying you off?
No. Is it spinning though?
No.
What's wrong? Sorry. That's a total fail. But it was spinning.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
there you go.
asking you to wait. We could do this
Okay.
another way. We could put all the names in a hat. Let's see what we have. One,
Oh
two,
man.
three. Uh,
Oh, it's spinning
it is.
slowly but surely.
Okay, let's see if we get a winner. Suspense for everybody out there. Still spinning. It lands in the middle. What are we gonna do?
We spin again. Why is it not stopping?
I tell you what, we'll give it another round, and then we're gonna go to another. We're gonna go to another method of selection.
Oh, there you go.
We have 5, right? Kathy, done.
Sorry for
Congratulations,
that.
Kathy. I'm going to send this to you via text because you called in. And happy shopping. Amazon gift card, $50. All right, folks. Been a pleasure. Jam, as always. Thank you for your participation here today and everybody else that made
Thank you,
this
Brian.
event a success. Okay, wonderful. Okay, till the next time, everybody, make it a great day.
And once again, Happy New Year, everybody.
Jam, if you stop your share, that would help me do what I need to do over here. All right.
Okay.